Today we're starting a new series, and this is my heart. Last week was my heart. This is my heart. This is my heartbeat. I said this last week, and I'm going to repeat it again this week. I don't know how to live without Jesus. I don't know how to live without a daily breathing in of who God is. I don't know how to do it. I can't. I don't know how. I don't know how to live without getting a different perspective than the one I have, because this doesn't work well. This wants to go places that aren't helpful for me. I can't explain to you how much this is true. It doesn't go helpful places. It really does not. I have to, and I can tell. I can immediately tell when I'm like, oh man, I got to go spend time with Jesus, because this is in charge again. This is having a heyday. I must spend time with God. I must sit down and quietly just listen to a different voice and read the Bible and pray and meditate. I can't tell you, it has nothing to do with religion or being holy, and has everything to do with survival. Everything to do with survival. So all of us, we have a heartbeat. All of us have a rhythm that keeps us alive. And our church has one too. And our heart beats through what we call our 4 V's. This tiny, whoops, that's not it. You have it. Yeah, that tiny, and thank you, Brittany. Brittany, show that up, Brittany. I just keep giving Brittany more work to do. I just keep going, I got an idea, Brittany, I got an idea. And then she just looks at me and goes, okay, Pastor Tracy, okay. Yeah, well, okay, let's work on it then, okay. God bless her. Everybody pray for her daily. Dana, you pray for her most of all, because you know what she's going through. Our heart beats through what we call our 4 V's, our vision, our values, our vocabulary, and our vehicles. These aren't just words on a paper. You have to understand, or I invite you to understand, that this is really the pulse of who we are as a community. And over the next few weeks, we are going to talk about this as we move towards Advent. And as we do, I believe that we're going to rediscover who we are and why we're here. This is about why you're here. This is about why Cornerstone and who we are. And a lot of us have been here, but we don't really know what makes us tick. And really, this is it. So let me explain some of the documents that we have. This is going to take a second. We have bylaws, we have a charter, we have 4 V's. The bylaws I would label is kind of our brain. It has to do with the functioning of the corporation. It has to do with the officers, because we do have officers. We have to be a corporation. And it talks about how the corporation will run, and that's how the government knows who we are and what we do and what we have to file. And then we have our charter. The charter talks about the body. It's about our membership. It's about our eldership. It's about the government within the body. It's about our leadership. It's about how we organize our community. In case anybody thinks that we're just here mamsy-pamsy, we are not. We actually have documents that tell us how we need to do things. And believe it or not, we actually follow them. So when we have questions, when we're confused, we have them at our fingertips, thank you, and we follow them and look at them. And I know that because I looked them up. And finally, we have the 4 V's. The 4 V's are our spirit. They're our essence. They are the rhythm. They are what I would label our true self. And when we're looking at our vision, vehicles, values, vocabulary over the next few weeks, it's kind of like Hebrews 10:14, where it talks about by one sacrifice, Jesus has made perfect forever those who are being made holy. We are always in process. We are forever in process. This is our dream. This is our vision. This is our desire. This is also what we aspire to and what we hold ourselves accountable to. What does it look like to live within our community? So we are forever in process as a community. So we think coming off of the gym, it's a great idea to remind ourselves of who we are. And talk about our essence, our goals, our values as a community and as a leadership team. And this kind of helps us, and it feels like the right moment to kind of pause and name who we are. And then in January, we're going to move to the book of Acts with the theme of expansion. Expansion being about movement and about growth. So we're going to anchor ourselves into who we are. We're going to go into Advent, and then we're going to talk about expansion next year. And we're going to talk about movement, and we're going to talk about how we let people know that we are here because, I think we're pretty great. And I think people need to know who we are. So we're going to talk about that as we go into January. So we are here as a church, and we are here today to stay. But today, we're going to start with vision. And I want to say this. This is a living, breathing calling for all of us to enter into individually and also as a community. This is our call as a community. This is what we are called to. So first, we're going to start with loving God and loving others fearlessly. You hear us say that all the time. But you know what? Truth is, what does it mean? So everybody, if you can turn to your little booklet, the first page, and I actually have to grab my big booklet because we have it in little and we have it in big. Now, when we did this is a lot of words. So, see this? Everybody see this in your little booklet? It's a lot of words, and I recognize that. And maybe I wouldn't have used this many words if I did it again. But I just want us to read along with me as I read this. And I want to say this. And this is my heart. And God bless Stuart, who was an elder here before, because he journeyed with me here. But this is my heart. That we would be a community that is fearlessly loved by God and loves others fearlessly. That every single person, individually as well as collectively, would daily and purposefully cultivate a deeply intimate, deeply rooted, ever-flowing and growing union with the triune Godhead, entering daily into the Trinitarian dance of love, intimacy, grace, and interdependence. Our vision is that every person, young and old, would be intimately acquainted with the multidimensional love of God, and that from that love, every person would strive to enter into that same type of relational dance and respect with one another in community. And because each person, young and old, has a deep and abiding union with the Trinity and understands that they are completely and fully loved, they in turn burn with an intense desire to share this love with others. That is our heart as a community. What it looks like is this. Go ahead and share the other image. Can't really see it. Look at that one. That for me is the image of the Trinitarian dance. That we as a community, and actually as a world, enter into this dance. And it makes me think of that song, "You're Closer Than My Breath." That God is forever around, all around us, all the time. We are breathing God in. God is breathing out. We are surrounded by this light and this love and this grace and this mercy and one another. It's not just about me individually. It's not just about me getting what I need, but it is about making sure that we all together have what we all need. It is about us with God, God with us. It is this beautiful dance of community. You can't enter into the community aspect of God and just be thinking solely of ourselves. So as we're looking at this and we go to love fearlessly, what does it even mean to be fearless? And I want to give my definition of fearless. And this is kind of a compilation as I was thinking of this. And for me, it means to be courageous and bold. I think, yes. Not necessarily without fear, but acting despite it. And I'm going to add this. I don't think you can love without fear. I don't think you can love without being afraid that you're going to get hurt. I don't think we know how. It involves confidently facing challenges, taking necessary actions, and pursuing our purposes without allowing fear of failure or limitations to hold us back. A fearless mindset accepts that setbacks are going to happen, and they will. But we see them as opportunities to learn and grow stronger. And we keep our eyes on Jesus, our potential victories, and our reasons for doing what we do. In order for us to love fearlessly as a community, we have to know, thank you, why we do what we do. You know, the reason that I pastor, the reason that I endeavor to love, the reason that I work hard at what I do, the reason that I coach, the reason that I do anything that has any kind of giving or service whatsoever is because God first loved me. It ain't because I'm that great of a person. It really isn't. It is because God's love compels me. It is because God's love is so profound to me that I want the world to know. It is because I am so fully convinced that I belong and that I am loved. Because as I said last week, I was somehow brought up on the dark side of the moon in the abyss of not belonging and of being rejected. That once I found belongingness and once I found pure, unadulterated love, I wanted everybody else to know that there was a place of belonging and a place of love that was beyond human understanding. That compels me. Nothing else compels me. That compels me. Not whether people like me or don't like me. I don't care. It is because of them and the way they pour. Why do I have devotional? Because they pour over me constantly. It's like candy. It's breath. Very good. To love fearlessly means we know that loving is a risk. It is a risk. It is a risk. To love is a risk. And can I just say, we are going to get hurt. If you love, you will get hurt. There is no way around it. There is no way around it. You will get hurt. And the biggest hurt is that someday you will have to say goodbye to somebody you love because they will pass away. So you will be hurt one day. People will let you down. They just will. But when they're with us, when we're loving, we can embrace the moment. We can embrace the time that we do have. However, we make the decision to do it anyway. We make the decision to love fearlessly. That's why it's fearless. Because we with courage and boldness, not necessarily without fear, we do it anyway. Sometimes, does that mean to set up boundaries? Yes. Sometimes, does that mean we have to step away if there's abuse and toxicity? Yes. Sometimes, does that mean that we have to step out and do things that are difficult, or stand on behalf of the other, or step out, or when it's not pretty to stick up for somebody and to get people mad at us? Yes. Sometimes, does it mean that we hold on to our own convictions even when it's not accepted by the majority? Yes, that can be love too. Love sometimes is very difficult. Love sometimes requires us to speak up and use our voice. Do we use it? Yes. Sometimes that's love. It doesn't mean that we shut down and we're quiet. Love is multidimensional. But when we love fearlessly, fearless is the important word. Fearless is the key word. You know, I coached somebody this week, and it was so fascinating, and she went from coming in to our sessions just so down and defeated to leaving our sessions, and she was a different woman. And what she said to me was, I cut the strings. She goes, I cut the strings. She goes, I was like a marionette. She goes, everybody was telling me what to do. And she goes, and I was like attached to them. And she goes, I just went through my mother, my job, my family, my children, and I went, you know what? Y'all don't have control over me anymore. You're not going to control how I act. And she goes, I cut every one of their strings. And she goes, I feel great. And she goes, and I was immediately tested. And she went through the stories of what happened. And she goes, and I just went, that's on you. That's not on me. And she goes, and this is where it's big, I made the choice. I was going to treat them with respect and dignity and kindness no matter what they were doing. And I'm like, hallelujah, we're having church. That's loving fearlessly. And you know what? She was set free. So how do we do it? How do we do it? I bet you can guess what I'm going to say. How do we do it? Anybody? I like, nice, Dave, you just do it. Nice. I don't think we can do it without having a solid space of identity and belongingness and knowing whose we are. I really don't, because I don't think we can love fearlessly from an empty space. I don't think we can love fearlessly from a vacuum. That's my strong bias. Y'all might be different. That's okay if you are. You have your own bias. But my bias is you cannot love from an empty vacuum. You have to be filled. I know for me, it would be impossible for me. And I do believe that there are rare cases that people are brought up in such a nurturing, beautiful environment. I certainly wasn't. And a healthy family system that you have identity and belongingness and knowing whose you are. I believe that can happen in a healthy environment. For me, I believe that it needs to come from knowing that we are loved and belong by God. I believe that we need to know that. I was thinking of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and he was talking about those physiological needs first. And I believe that because we have to eat and drink and have all of those. But I don't think that we can fully survive without knowing that we belong, without knowing our identity, and without knowing that we are unconditionally loved. I don't think we can step out and love fearlessly without that. And I think of John